Know something interesting about friendships? Sometimes you meet a person for just 5 minutes and you remember them for years. And sometimes you sit with someone for hours and still feel like strangers. But there is one thing that makes the difference: conversation. The way we talk, the way we laugh, the way we connect. It all begins with communication. And if that conversation happens in English, many people suddenly feel nervous. But don't worry. Today we are going to make English conversation feel simple, friendly, and natural. Welcome back to Daily Communication Star, the place where we practice real-life English conversations. Not textbook English, but the English you actually use with people. I'm your host, Rohan, and today we're exploring a very relatable topic: meeting a friend and having a natural conversation in English. And to make this conversation more fun and realistic, I've invited a guest to join me today. She's cheerful, friendly, and she has some funny stories about meeting friends and speaking English. Please welcome Sophia.
Hi, Rohan. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Sophia, welcome to the podcast.
I'm really happy to be here and slightly nervous too.
That's completely fine. Everyone feels that way at the beginning.
Yes, but honestly, I'm excited. I love conversations like this.
That's great. And listeners, today we're going to keep this episode very natural. Imagine two friends sitting and talking. There will be stories, laughs, and maybe a few giggles too.
There will definitely be giggles.
Sophia, let me start with a simple question. When you meet a friend after a long time, what is usually the first thing you say?
Honestly,
Yes, honestly.
the first thing I usually say is, "Hey, it's been so long."
That's a classic line.
Yes, and then usually we laugh.
Because both people realize how long it has been.
Exactly. And then the conversation slowly begins.
You know, many English learners think conversations must start with something very intelligent or impressive, but that's not true. Most real conversations begin with very simple lines.
Yes, things like, "How are you? How have you been? What's new?"
Exactly. And these simple questions create comfort.
And comfort creates connection.
Sophia, tell us about a funny moment when you met a friend and the conversation became awkward.
Oh, I have one.
Let's hear it.
So a few months ago, I met a friend from college after almost 3 years. We both looked at each other, and for a moment, we didn't recognize each other.
No way.
Yes, then suddenly we both realized at the same time, and we both said, "Oh my God," together.
That must have been hilarious.
It was. We started laughing so much that people around us were staring.
That's the best kind of reunion. Now, here's something important for listeners. Meeting a friend is easy, but keeping the conversation going is sometimes difficult.
Yes, sometimes there's a moment of silence and people start feeling awkward.
Exactly. But there's a trick. You just ask simple follow-up questions. For example, what have you been doing lately? Are you working or studying these days? Have you traveled anywhere recently?
These questions are easy but very effective.
Because they invite the other person to share stories. You know something funny? Sometimes when I meet a friend, we start talking and suddenly 1 hour passes.
That happens a lot.
And then we realize we forgot to order food.
Yes, good conversations make time disappear.
Another common thing when meeting friends is sharing life updates.
Yes, friends usually ask questions like, "How's your work going? How's your family? What are you doing these days?"
And the key is to answer naturally, not like an interview.
Exactly. For example, instead of saying, "My work is fine," you can say, "Work is going well, but sometimes it gets a little stressful."
That sounds much more human. Friends love stories, so when you meet a friend, you can share small experiences.
Yes, like something funny that happened recently.
Or something embarrassing.
Embarrassing stories are the best.
Sophia, tell us another story.
Okay, this one is slightly embarrassing.
Perfect.
I once met a friend at a cafe and I tried to sound very confident in English. So I wanted to say, "I'm starving," but instead I said, "I'm starving you."
Oh no.
Yes, my friend looked at me like, "What?" Then we both started laughing.
That's actually a great learning moment.
Yes, mistakes become funny memories.
Laughter makes conversations comfortable. When people laugh together, they feel relaxed.
Yes, and when you're relaxed, speaking English becomes easier.
Friends also talk about serious things sometimes, not just jokes.
That's true. Sometimes when I meet a friend, we talk about goals, problems, life decisions.
And those conversations are important.
Because friends support each other.
Sophia, what do you value most in a friendship?
That's a good question. I think I value honesty and comfort. With a true friend, you don't need to pretend.
That's beautifully said.
What about you?
For me, it's trust and laughter. A friend should be someone you can laugh with, even during difficult times. Here's a small English tip. When talking with friends, you don't need complicated vocabulary. Just speak simply and clearly.
Yes, natural English is always better than complicated English.
Sophia, let's do a quick fun round.
Okay,
Coffee or tea with friends?
coffee.
Long phone calls or meeting in person?
Meeting in person.
Talking for hours or comfortable silence?
Talking for hours.
I expected that answer. Sophia, this conversation already feels like two friends chatting.
Yes, I almost forgot we're recording a podcast.
That's the best kind of podcast.
True.
You know, Sophia, the more we talk about friendships, the more memories start appearing in my mind.
Same here, Rohan. When you start thinking about old friends, suddenly so many stories come back.
Exactly. And sometimes those memories are funny, sometimes a little embarrassing.
Oh, yes, embarrassing moments are the best ones to remember later.
They are painful in the moment, but hilarious afterward.
Absolutely.
One thing I've noticed about meeting friends is that conversations rarely follow a plan.
Yes, they start with one topic and suddenly jump to something completely different.
Exactly. You start by asking, "How are you?" and 10 minutes later, you're talking about childhood memories.
Or some silly school incident.
Oh, school stories are the best.
Yes, because everyone has at least one crazy memory from school.
Let me ask you something, Sophia. Do you still talk to any of your childhood friends?
Yes, actually, I do. There's one friend I've known since we were in school.
That's amazing.
We don't meet very often now because life gets busy, but whenever we meet, it feels like no time has passed.
That's the sign of a true friendship.
Exactly.
And the conversation just flows naturally.
One thing that always happens when we meet is we start remembering old, embarrassing moments.
Oh no.
Yes. For example, once in school, I accidentally called the teacher Mom.
That's a classic mistake.
Everyone in the class laughed so much.
And your friend still remembers that?
Yes, she reminds me every time we meet.
That's what friends do. They never forget embarrassing moments. Listeners, here's something important. When friends talk, the language is usually relaxed and simple. You don't need formal English.
Yes, you can say things like, "That's funny." "Really?" "No way." "That's crazy."
Exactly. These small reactions keep conversations alive.
You know what I love about meeting friends?
What?
Sometimes we laugh so much that we forget what we were talking about.
Yes, that happens all the time.
Like someone starts telling a story, then someone else interrupts, then suddenly everyone is laughing.
And the original story is completely lost.
Exactly.
But friendships are not only about fun. Sometimes when you meet a friend, you talk about serious things.
That's true. Sometimes friends share worries, career problems, or personal struggles.
And a good friend listens without judging.
Yes, listening is a very important part of communication.
Let's talk about that. When a friend shares a problem, what do you usually say?
Sometimes the best response is very simple. You can say, "I understand. I'm here for you." That must be difficult.
Those sentences are powerful because they show empathy.
Exactly. Friends don't always need solutions. Sometimes they just need someone to listen.
And by the way, quick small reminder for everyone listening right now. If you're enjoying this podcast and if you still haven't liked this podcast and subscribed to our channel, Daily Communication Star, then please subscribe to the channel. Your one-click support helps us a lot and motivates us to keep creating these long English conversations for you. All right, now let's continue our conversation. Sophia, let's imagine something. If you suddenly meet a friend after 5 years, what is the first thing you would ask them?
Probably, what have you been doing all this time?
That's a great question.
Because it opens the door for many stories.
Exactly.
Also, whenever friends meet, food becomes part of the conversation.
Yes, food and friendship are connected.
You meet a friend, and immediately someone says, let's grab something to eat.
Or let's get coffee.
Yes, coffee conversations are the best.
Sometimes people sit with coffee for hours.
And the coffee gets cold because they're busy talking.
That's very true. Actually, that reminds me of a funny moment.
Tell me.
Once I met a friend at a cafe. We were talking so much that we didn't notice the cafe was closing.
Oh no.
The staff politely came to us and said, "Sir, we are closing now."
That means the conversation was really good.
Yes, time passed so quickly.
I think what makes conversations with friends special is honesty.
Yes,
You don't have to pretend, you can laugh loudly, make mistakes, even speak imperfect English.
exactly. Friends don't judge your grammar.
They just enjoy the conversation.
And that's why talking with friends is one of the best ways to practice English.
Yes, because the environment feels safe.
You can try new words, new sentences.
And if you make a mistake, you can laugh about it.
Sophia, one last question. What makes a meeting with a friend truly memorable?
I think three things: good conversation, genuine laughter, and feeling understood.
That's beautifully said.
What about you?
For me, it's the moment when you realize that even after a long time, the friendship still feels the same.
You know something, Rohan?
What?
This conversation itself feels like two friends talking.
That's exactly the goal of this podcast.
To make English feel natural and comfortable.
Yes. And with that, we come to the end of today's episode. Today, we talked about meeting a friend and having natural conversations in English. We shared stories, laughs, and a few meaningful thoughts about friendships. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like this podcast and subscribe to our channel, Daily Communication Star. Your support helps us create more real English conversations like this.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Until next time, keep practicing your English, keep talking with your friends, and most importantly, keep smiling.
Bye, everyone.
See you in the next episode of Daily Communication Star.